A very good morning, children. This is your third chapter, which is your synthetic fibers and plastics. The activity based chapter, an activity was given to you. Hope we all have thought about what to do in that activity. So let us start with the chapter synthetic fibers and plastics. This is a small summary of the chapter. Synthetic fibers and plastics. Now synthetic fibers, they help us in making fabrics. Fabrics are those which you wear in your day-to-day life, and plastics are those substances which make our work and our day-to-day life easier. Plastics are used in a lot of our house materials and many other products also. So let us see more about synthetic fibers and plastics. Synthetic fibers and plastics. Clothes that we wear on a daily basis are made of fabrics. Fabrics are made of fibers which are obtained from natural and artificial sources. Wool, silk and cotton are a few examples of natural fibers, and fibers like polyesters and terylene are a few examples of synthetic fibers. So you see, fibers, they make up your fabrics. Fabrics means whatever you are wearing, like cotton is a fabric, silk is a fabric. So it is made up of smaller units known as fibers. So fibers are of two types. One is your natural fiber and one is your synthetic fiber. Natural fiber is naturally available, is not made by human beings, whereas synthetic fibers are those fibers which is man-made. Okay, so let us see more about your fibers. First we come to fiber. The clothes which we wear are made up of fabrics. Fabrics are made from fibers. Fibers are smaller units. Fibers are also used for making large variety of household articles. What is a polymer? The word polymer comes from two Greek words. Poly means many and meaning part or unit. A polymer is a substance composed of many repeated similar subunits. Here you see there are two necklaces. Okay, one is made up of beads. One is made up of paper clips. So the beads are behaving like a polymer, and whereas your paper clips are also behaving as a polymer. So you come to know that the fibers are smaller units which are making your fabrics, but the fibers are interconnected like these smaller units. The fibers are interconnected like these smaller units which are known as polymers. So polymer is like these small paper clips, and it is small like these beads. The smaller units. Let's see next. What is a synthetic fiber? Fiber that are made by humans are known as synthetic or man-made fibers. Humans have been able to make a variety of synthetic fibers like rayon, nylon. So you see, whatever nylon socks you must be knowing, brushes are made up of synthetic fibers. Many household materials are made up of synthetic fibers. Okay, so next we come to a natural fiber. Natural fibers are those which are derived from plants or animals, are known as natural fibers. Example, cotton, the figure is there, is from a plant. Then wool also, you know it from a sheep. Silk is from silkworm. Now natural fibers have a lot of positive points, but the only point is that it takes a lot of efforts and process to produce a natural fibers. As the demand is so high, so human beings are not able to extract so much of natural fibers from nature. So humans have started going for the alternative process, which is your synthetic fibers, because they are made in the industries and lots of synthetic fibers can be made. So humans have taken more of your synthetic fibers, but it has a lot of negative points also. Natural fibers are more better quality. They have better material in front of your synthetic fibers. What is a silk fiber? Is obtained from the cocoon of a silkworm. The process was first discovered in China. Silk is costly. It's very costly due to the material and quality production, and is used in making saris, ties. Now we come to synthetic fibers. Rayon is a synthetic fiber made up from purified cellulose. It's from a wood pulp, but it comes from a natural source, but is considered to be man-made because it is treated chemically. It is inexpensive and it is compared with silk. So now rayon, as it is inexpensive, now it's taking the place of your silk. Okay children, so silk which was natural, but it is very expensive, out of reach of the people. So people have started going for rayon. Nylon, you use it in your day-to-day life. You all know it's a synthetic fiber. It is first fully synthetic fiber. Remember this. Characteristic is light, strong, elastic. Nylon, you have nylon ropes, socks, seat belts, sleeping bags, curtains. So nylon has captured a lot of the market. Next we come to polyester. Polyester is made up of repeating units of your a chemical substance known as ester. It is crease free. There's no folds. It is best in use making of dress materials because it is very crisp and easily to wash and dries off very easily. A popular polyester is terylene. Now we come next to acrylic fiber. Acrylic fiber resembles wool. So you are seeing all the natural fibers are now substituted. Your rayon substituted silk, acrylic fiber substituted wool. The wool obtained from natural sources are very expensive, and yet whereas the acrylic fibers are relatively cheap. Synthetic fibers are more durable and affordable, which makes it more popular. They are more durable, okay, and they can stay for a longer time, and cheaper also, synthetic ones. Okay, next we come to plastic. Plastic is very important for a day-to-day life, but it is creating a lot of problem also. So plastic is a polymer like synthetic fiber. All plastics do not have same type of arrangement of units. Some of are linear and some of are cross-linked. Plastic can be reused, recycled, and it has a lot of variety in our day-to-day life also. That's why we see everything of our day-to-day life is made up of plastic. Bottles, spoons, utensils. But there are a lot of negative point of plastics, but it is most readily available and can be easily used, so it has captured the market a lot. There are two types of plastic. One is your thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic. You see these are two types of plastics, thermoplastics and thermoset plastics. Now what happens in thermoplastics, plastics which get deformed easily on heating are known as thermoplastic. Means you heat it, it will change its shape. Okay, that is polythene, PVC. Whereas thermoset means even if you heat it, even if you do it, it will not change its position. Example is Bakelite and melamine. So you see some of these, like if you have a mug or if you have a spoon at your home, if you heat it, it will change the shape. But there are certain of these like your keyboard materials, and there are certain of this materials as you can see in the figure, thermoset plastic. Even if you heat it, nothing is going to happen to it. So that a thermoset means the temperature is set, the heating thing is set, and it will not change its shape. Okay. Next we come to characteristics of plastics. Characteristics of plastic. Plastic is non-reactive. Plastic is light, durable. It's a poor conductor. But there is only a negative point. It is non-biodegradable. Means there are two types of things. One is biodegradable and one is non-biodegradable. Biodegradable is it can be decomposed. Means it mixes with the soil, which I can say in a normal way. Whereas non-biodegradable means it will not mix with the soil, it will not break down. So plastic has one big issue that it does not break down and it remains like thousands of years. Also plastic remains the same. This is the negative point of plastics. Environmental effects on plastics. Plastic takes several years to decompose. It is not environment friendly. It causes pollution. Burning process in the synthetic material is quite slow and does not get burnt completely. It releases lot of poisonous fumes. So plastic altogether has lot of negative points. Plastics can affect the environment, and plastic, though it is very easily available and lot of products are there, it has a lot of negative points for polluting the environment. And it takes thousands of years for a plastic to decompose. I hope you all have done your activity topic, which was on to stop using plastics because of this reason only. Next we come to the three of the more important are 4 R's, but the 3 are more important. 4 R's are reduce, reuse, recycle, recover, but we use 3 R's more, that is reduce, reuse, recycle. This all together means that we should reduce our usage of of those products which are not environment friendly. We should reuse them, like in the case of plastics, and recycle them, that use it again and again, not buying new products, but we should use the same products so in our in a different form in our homes, so that we don't overburden the environment. So if we remember the 3 R's of reduce, reuse and recycle, we will not pollute or overburden the environment, which is very important, because the environment has only a particular capacity. Other than that, if something increases, then the environment will break down. This is all for this chapter. I hope you have understood it is in a small summary. I hope you will do your activity very well. Thank you, children.